I hate to think about the Chargers leaving.
The stadium wars in Southern California heat up.
I don't want to hear Josh Lewin say, touchdown, LA. Ugh.
What situation? Moving to LA? It's not happening.
And then to even think that we're going to be sharing a stadium with the Raiders, I'm like, no way.
We love the rivalry, and that's what football is all about.
Raiders! Go Wolves!
Pretty much raised in San Diego when I first got into sports. It was like the mid-'80s, so you had Eric Coryell, you had Tony Gwynn killing it.
I have been a season ticket holder for the San Diego Chargers since 1999. I've been a fan of the team since Eric Coryell, since I was a little girl. Love this team.
I grew up in San Diego, between here and Northern California, but my earliest memories in my life were with my dad and my grandfather. I remember powder blue and dust and eating cotton candy.
When I moved out here to San Diego 10 years ago, I was really glad to see that this is an NFL town that really it's a good NFL town.
Through the good and the bad, I'm a Chargers fan. You know, I'm actually a season ticket holder now too. I've been for about 3 years.
My family's been season ticket holders since 1973. I was born in 1977, and it's a huge, huge, huge fulfillment of my life, my kids' life, my family's life, that we stay right here.
I watched one day a San Diego Chargers football game, and I think we were even living in Rhode Island, and I was like, this team is amazing.
That's our getaway, you know what I mean? Sunday nights you turn on the TV, put on the Chargers, man.
I married into a big Charger family, and they love it. It's like, it brings us together more. It's about family. It's about respect. Respect is about your hometown and all the other 31 visitors.
It's just an exciting experience to be able to share with people in your community something that you care and love.
The friendships that we've made here, basically through the Chargers, our friendships we're going to keep for the rest of our lives. And without this team, we wouldn't have that.
I just want my team to stay in San Diego. That's where I'm from, that's where my team's from, that's where they belong.
And we begin tonight with breaking news. A big step in LA's bid to bring professional football back just took place tonight in Carson.
I'm rooting for Team Carson.
Carson Together, that's what they're calling this effort. A plan to build a split-use stadium in Carson to be shared by the now San Diego Chargers and now Oakland Raiders.
It will change Carson for the better.
Two teams would be sharing one stadium. So we could either have, the Chargers and the Raiders playing in Carson, or we would have the Rams playing in Inglewood. We could have two teams, we could have one team, we could have three teams if everything gets built, or we could have no teams because maybe they're just posturing to get a better deal in the cities where they're already located.
In a joint statement with the Raiders, they say their first option is to remain in San Diego. The LA plan is just a backup.
If you can't work it out with your cities, we welcome you with open arms here in Carson.
When they announced it, my stomach dropped. I couldn't believe it. And I actually thought it had happened already at that point.
To find out that the Chargers might be moving is absolutely devastating. It's like a divorce. It's like a death in the family.
If the Chargers moved to LA, it would not be the same fan base, the same dedicated fans that we have in San Diego every week.
You put your heart and soul into this team. You love this team, and to think they're not going to be where they're supposed to be, it's awful.
It's been difficult for the fans, especially difficult for the fans, what's going on up in LA. But you know, we can't get distracted by that. We have to stay focused on San Diego and do what we can right here. We've got a new mayor, Mayor Kevin Faulconer, who's been in office just over a year. He's the first mayor who's come out and said, this stadium issue is going to get resolved on my watch.
It's time for us as a community to come together to decide the future of the Chargers in San Diego.
He introduced the Citizen Stadium Advisory Group, this 9-member group that I work with.
This group is a very diverse group that comes from all walks of life: public service, land use, business, finance, and sports. But above all else, we're San Diegans.
For people who haven't gone to a game at Qualcomm, it's horrible. Things are rusting, things are falling, seats are breaking. It's not a good place to watch a game.
And they're not making as much money as a lot of these other teams because they have this aging stadium that really is just not suitable anymore.
It's this big concrete behemoth out in the middle of Mission Valley, and it's way outdated.
We have breaking news as the city of Carson talks about plans for a joint stadium in that LA suburb.
That evening when I got home from work and I saw what was going on in that press conference and the press release going on in Carson, the first thought was, how are you sharing a bed with the enemy?
I think it's absolutely ridiculous to have the Raiders and the Chargers in sharing one house. It's like, mortal enemies being roommates.
I don't think there's a single Charger fan who wants to share a stadium with the Raiders.
One of my favorite things to do every year is go out to Oakland and watch the Chargers play the Raiders, usually beat them in Oakland. It's one of the most satisfying things ever.
It's waking up in the morning and finding that there's this devastating news that you're both going to be in the same stadium and everything you thought that was stable is gone.
We want to keep the rivalry the way it is. It was established in 1960 when we both came along with this AFC.
You know, we got AFC history, AFC West history together, and it looks like to me, from what I hear, that one of those teams is going to have to move to divisions. Either way, it kills a decades-old rivalry. That's part of the history of the game, and I think that's what the league is not honoring.
The AFC West is one of the only standing divisions from before the merger. So why would you realign that? Those rivalries go back before the NFL was the NFL.
To put those two teams in the same stadium, I don't care if you break up the divisions and put them in different ones anyways. It's not right, and it's not fair to the fans.
We affect each other. We affect each other to win. And to win is keeping our teams in our cities. We're winning.
Hey, we may hate each other on the field, but today we are in this together. Yeah. We believe in keeping our teams where they rightfully belong.
My name is Ray Paris. I am also known as Dr. Death of the Raider Nation. Been a Raider fan since I can remember. And growing up, I always knew I was just different from my friends. I am different, and the Raiders are always different. The one thing that gets me as a Raider fan is the wrong stereotype that we get, and it's unfair. And that is that we're criminals, we're villains, we're just always up to no good, and that couldn't be furthest from the truth. We do charity activities year-round, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, March of Dimes.
My passion personally comes from my father. He played for the Raiders in the 70s. He was a big people's person. He believed in the people and what we should do for the youth and things like that.
Just because we have our knives on our shoulder pads or spikes and skulls, it's to be intimidating on the field. We want people from across the country of different teams to come experience our culture, our tradition, who we are.
We both have bad stadiums, so it's good that in an inter-division rival at that, we can get together and try to come up with a plan to make the people happy that spend their hard-earned money.
We hate each other on the field, but we have the same agenda, and our same agenda is keeping our teams here.
It's funny that these dreaded enemies are now working together in order to keep our teams where we want them.
We're going to, for the first time ever, have a real, tangible plan for a new stadium. That's never been done before.
All I can really say about the proposal that CSAG's putting together is that it'll be fair and it'll be workable and it'll be the first of its kind in San Diego. What we're developing is the framework to a deal. So we'll hand the baton off to the mayor and the county. He asked CSAG to select a site, either Mission Valley, where the Chargers currently play, or downtown. We settled on Mission Valley, primarily because the city owns that land. They don't own the land downtown.
It seems like with their new plan that they're planning on kind of building around the area of Qualcomm or the new stadium as well. And so to move it any other place would just seem kind of logistically a nightmare, where right now everything, the infrastructure is there.
It's connected to mass transit. There's a trolley station right there. There's freeway access right there. There will be plenty of tailgating opportunities.
What people have to realize is that San Diego is a destination city. They travel up from the Midwest and the East Coast to come to San Diego from the warm weather and the beautiful atmosphere for a vacation in the middle of the winter. That's something we have to offer that, quite frankly, a lot of NFL teams don't.
So if the team leaves, there'll be some economic impact. I mean, the Chargers are responsible in one way or the other for a lot of jobs.
The Chargers are important to the economy because it's a sign that we're a major city, and you can't look like a major city if you don't have a football team. We're the 8th largest city in the country, and how embarrassing would it be if we lost our NFL franchise and never got it back again? What does that say to the business community? Well, you know, it would be a huge blow.
As somebody who understands business, I can see the appeal of going to LA, but the Chargers belong in San Diego.
It's something that we as a city are going to fight for.
Help keep our Chargers in San Diego! Save our Bolts! I am one of the founders of Save Our Bolts. Really, the idea for this group was hatched in my notebook. Save our Bolts! Keep the Chargers in San Diego! Thanks! From the beginning, the campaign took off in a way that I wasn't expecting and got further and faster. You know, the very first rally we ever had, we demanded a meeting with the mayor, and was very surprised when the response was, "When are you available?"
So what we're trying to do is support the City Council, the Board of Supervisors, the Citizen Stadium Advisory Committee, in all their initiatives to keep the Chargers here.
I mean, obviously we care about the Bolts, but we also care about the river. We also care about, you know, bringing revenue to the whole community.
The bar here at Danny Coyle's, they've been great to us. Brian and all the bartenders, they're all wonderful.
First thing I did when I moved was I Googled Chargers Bar, San Francisco.
When I was 23, me and a few buddies showed up here. Just a couple other guys in Chargers gear. We befriended each other, and that was kind of the start of this bar and the whole Chargers following.
And before you know it, we got the game on the projector, and a bunch of Charger fans, they know where to show up.
I have my own little responsibility here because I play the song every time the Chargers score.
San Diego! Haight Street just turns over for blue and gold, and it turns into the Chargers' home down there.
It's not even just Sundays watching a game anymore. We go camping, we do trips, barbecue in the park. We do all the things we used to love to do in San Diego.
We're bigger than just a fan base, but it's all based in being San Diego fans.
This is my Danny Coyle shirt. DJ Fluke, that best O-lineman in the NFL, signed it for me. Hey, what that train say, dog?
They've come to town and said, you know, put the deal together. We're anxious to look at it. We want to look at it. And the NFL has told us our #1 priority is to keep these teams in their home markets. The plan will outline the cost of a new stadium, and it'll outline how to pay for it, and then it'll outline how do the Chargers, the city, and the county recoup those costs.
This is a very exciting day. Hopefully we can look back and say this is a monumental day for the city of San Diego.
Over the past 108 days, this group has put a lot of time and effort into this process. They were thoughtful, methodical, and committed to delivering on what the mayor asked them to do. It creates a framework for the mayor and the county to begin negotiations with the Chargers to craft a deal that works for everyone.
It funds the construction of a new multi-use stadium with no new taxes. And it reduces the city's general fund payments. It overcomes all the hurdles that were thrown in our path, both real and imagined. And it is a good deal for the taxpayers. This morning I personally delivered copies of our report to Mayor Faulkner at City Hall and Dean Spanos at Chargers Park.
Now we look to the city, the county, and the Chargers organization for the leadership to make this goal a reality.
Let's get this stadium built here in San Diego and make it not America's finest city, but America's greatest city and one of the best in the world. Thank you all.
Today we're here at the NFL meetings, the day after the CSAC proposal was released. We're here just to support the Save Our Bolts movement and bring back the LA Rams movement and the Stay in Oakland movement as a combined effort amongst fan bases.
We are here to keep the Raiders here, keep the Chargers in San Diego, bring back the LA Rams where they belong. That's right. That's right. We here, baby. Let's do this.
It's just up to the, you know, the hire. You know, it's Mark Davis, it's the city.
If they leave San Diego, then I'm done. And I've lived here, like I said, since 2001. I've been rooting for him here at this bar, the greatest Chargers bar in San Francisco.
If the Chargers move to LA, they're not the Chargers anymore. So no, I would not follow the Chargers because they wouldn't be the Chargers. They wouldn't be the San Diego Chargers.
If the Chargers moved to LA, I would have a really hard time rooting for them.
It's treason on the highest level for them to leave.
I can't root for the Chargers if they leave.
If the CSAG presents a plan that I think is doable, that I think works, and they still leave, then I'm done. And I'm done. My loyalty isn't free.
If they won a Super Bowl, I wouldn't feel like my team won a Super Bowl, even though I've been a Charger fan forever.
It would be devastating in more ways than one. This is where I plan on being for the rest of my life. And to not have a team to go watch long after I'm done playing the game will be devastating to me.
I don't know if I'll ever have that same passion for football again.
If they leave San Diego, then I leave the NFL.
I got to jump ship. I'm out. I put my all into this team. I've been at the home games. I'm a season ticket holder. I'm investing in the team. And for them to turn their back on me, move to LA, even though I live here in San Francisco, I'm not flying down to LA to deal with this.
It's hard to think about, to be honest.
My biggest thing is I just want the Chargers to stay in San Diego. I want that stadium in that beautiful city.
You may be thinking, yeah, whatever, but I'm really trying. I would tear up. And this is more than football. Yeah, I honestly, I don't know.
Get it here, man. How are these guys going to tell me that? What are we going to do if we move to LA? It's not going to happen.
We might go to LA because we might go to Disneyland, or we might go to Magic Mountain. And Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles just opened up a shop in Anaheim, and we'll go eat there after we keep the boats in San Diego.
Save our boats, guys. Let's do this.
Save them in San
Diego.
Thunderstruck!
I'm not just a Charger fan. I'm a San Diego Charger fan.